I know we've covered a lot. I do have a few questions coming in for each of you, and I'd ask that, each of you address these as best you can, even if we may have covered it in the materials, sometimes just to drill down a little bit more or summarize. And Patrick, I want to start with you. And then maybe perhaps Edmund, you have some thoughts as well. What's the difference from a collective bargaining perspective between sports and other industries?
The primary difference in sports is, I would say, the starting pay. Whether it's, with players, it's stratospheric, but even with officials, the starting pay for most sports officials is going to be six figures, and so that's a major difference. Travel, sports officials, players. Just about anybody who's unionized in the sports field are people who are going to be on site during events, and so there will be per diem rates that have to be negotiated, which are really important to maybe not so much the players, but to officials. Officials, the officials can get a per diem rate of say $350, $400 a day, plus they can get tickets. And if you're in town for the Red Sox and you're an umpire, you're in town for the Red Sox and the Yankees game, you can use those tickets for hotel stays, for car rentals, all sorts of things, which makes the per diem very important to you from an income standpoint. And again, I don't want to get into the tax implications of that, because obviously if there's per diem that you're making that's not being used for expenses, you and your accountant have to figure that out. But those are issues that in sports you may not find where in other fields, where members work at a factory, they work on a job site, whatever.
Edmund, your thoughts on that also, or perhaps other industries where there's a difference?
Well, I can talk to sports from the education world, where perhaps we'll have people who will be going into the professionals at one point. But the biggest impediment that we have for coaches, where coaches are included in larger bargaining units, is that we can't pay coaches enough in order to attract quality coaches. And what happens when they are lumped in with a larger bargaining unit, they get held hostage. In collective bargaining, what's good for the greater group is what governs. And so we might want to increase the pay for coaches, and the response at the bargaining table will be, well, that's fine. We'll agree to increasing the pay for coaches, but you have to increase the pay for everybody else in order to do that. And that becomes our impediment. In a public college or in a K through 12 school system, coaches are going to be lumped in with all other teachers, because we're not going to have a discrete bargaining unit just for coaches. And that becomes the problem.